In this video, we are going to take an extended look at DevKit, which is a WordPress plugin that totally enhances your WordPress admin experience. Before we dive in, a quick bit of housekeeping. Extended look videos like this are not sponsored. We are not paid to do these videos, and there's no affiliate link situation going on whatsoever. DPlugins, which is the vendor in this case, is a partner of InfluenceWP. And if you would like to be a partner, it's absolutely free. Just go to influencewp.com/partners and sign up. But again, the videos like this are part of the partnership. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive in. Like I always like to do is just poke around the vendor's website, and then we'll dive into the actual solution. Okay. And another thing is I've been a paying customer. I'm looking at it right here on my other screen. I've been a paying customer since September. So I pay for this product, can fully endorse it. And like I said, I use it on, maybe I didn't say that. I don't know. I use it on a daily basis. But yeah, the other bit of housekeeping is that I forgot is I literally hit record and whatever happens, happens, which you're probably already seeing. These are not highly edited videos. There may be some tutorial. They're not official tutorials, but there's often tutorial aspects to these videos. Okay. I haven't done an extended look video in a while. I've been doing first look videos, so I'm out of my spiels a little off. But yeah, okay. So enough jibber jabber. Let's go ahead and dive in. Look at the website here, and then we'll dive into the actual product. There's not a whole lot going on this website, and that's fine in this case. Marco, the owner of this company, who I've spoken to numerous times, getting this partnership established and whatnot, and he's just a great guy, and just he's got a lot going on. Like you'll see here, there's going to be other videos in the future, but if you go to InfluenceWP, you'll see that he's got a number of solutions. Okay, he's putting his time into the dev side of things, right? So sometimes you see that, and websites don't have a ton going on because the vendor is focused on the product, right? Which is what we're going to see in this case. So yeah, so this is the website. He's got a Facebook group too. Just a great guy. Basically gives you the shirt off his back. That's kind of like I like to think of myself as like, I'll give you the shirt off my back. I'll give you as much as I possibly can, being a business owner. And he's that same way. So just really fond of Marco. Okay, so you've got the products. Let's see, let's go here. And you can see he's got a lot going on. And I don't know if there's an about page here. Here we go. You've got some photos. That's Marco right there in the YouTube channel. Very active in his Facebook group. And he's got a lot of free resources too. But yeah, it doesn't look like he has like an official like about page. But if you go on YouTube, I mean, you're going to find him. Let me see if okay. Yeah, so that's that. I typically like to see an about page. I'm just telling you, like, I've spoken to him many, many times, and you can trust Marco for sure. Okay. And he's got your best interest at heart. So another thing too, I want to mention before we dive in, I just saw this on Facebook in his Facebook group today, literally right before I hit record, but DevKit enhancements are coming very soon. Like he just announced it. There's going to be a brand new UI, UX, some security stuff going on, more features, but this is really the one. So what you see here in this video, it's going to have enhancements is what I'm trying to tell you as far as the UI UX, but it's okay like already, but it's going to get better. But the really big thing that I want to point out here is he said one of the features is going to be this thing called Runner. And if you've seen at all in the the WordPress space, the news, things like Command UI, and similar products like that, where you can like use your keyboard to do WordPress tasks much faster. So type in a command, get you where you need to go, use your keyboard rather than clicking around. That is coming. Now, this is according to Marco, is that the Runner. So if you go to like sketchrunner.com, so that's SKETCH RUNNER.com. So that's sketchrunner.com. You'll get an idea of what he's talking about there. Okay. All right. So I just wanted to mention that. All right, let's go ahead and dive in and check this out. Again, this is one of my favorite plugins for sure. So I've got it installed, and there's nothing special to show you as far with this particular plugin as far as activating it. You just activate it, and then you just go over here to the menu item. And I'm going to take myself off the screen here. You just go over to the menu item, and you get started. This is mainly geared towards WordPress admins. So there's an assumption there that you know how to get to where you need to go in here and start diving in. Okay, it's not complex. It's just it makes assumptions. So let's go through each of these tabs, and I'll try to do this the best justice that I can with the feature, especially with the features that I use a lot. So plugin install. One of the really cool things about this is there's a toggle here, activate plugins on install. So otherwise, with WordPress, you install the plugin, then you got to click activate. This just saves you that step. You also have the option to overwrite the existing plugin with the same version number. That's kind of a case by case unique basis, if you will. But you can drop the plugins right in here, or you can click upload a file, upload them right from your workstation. This is a really cool thing. So if you come in here, let's say I wanted to, for whatever reason, download multiple plugins. You can select multiple plugins or one plugin and click download, and it's going to give you that file right on your workstation. So let's let that do its thing. And let's go over here. Still coming down. Pull up my downloads folder here. Here we go. So you can see this is our file. So if we extract this, well, not share, we want to extract. There we go. So that's extracting. Now let me pull this over. Probably should have just done one plugin, but I wanted to show you, what this does. So let's go ahead and we'll continue on. We'll come back to that. So let's move over to themes install. Same thing. Do you want to overwrite the existing theme that comes in there? And again, you can download the actual theme zip file from your website down to your workstation if you need it. So like, for example, let's say back to the plugins. Like, what if you wanted to save a copy of the previous version and keep it in case you need an easy way to roll back and overwrite? That could be a use case. Or maybe you just like, for nostalgia reasons, to hold on to those past versions. That would be a reason potentially. Okay. So let's see, here we go. Here's our extracted files, and you can see here are the files. So they even though the folder, one folder comes down as zipped, then you you extract it, and then you get the individual folders there. But now let's go back there and let's just do one plugin. So let's let that come down, and then we'll see what we get here. So you see, because I already had DevKit downloaded, but you see now it just gives you that actual zip file for just the plugin. So now you can just go and install it somewhere or save it. Okay. So that's the difference between the single download versus the multi. Okay. So that's that. Let's move. We talked about themes install. Let's go over to WP Reset. Now, typically you need a separate solution for this feature. So this is going to give you the option to reset your database, delete your content, empty the WP content folders, delete all plugins except for DevKit in this case, delete all themes. And down here, you can add things to the safe list. So let's say maybe WP Codebox. We don't want to remove that either when we go to delete our plugins. Okay. So there's that option. And let's go ahead and just put this in there. WP Codebox. Select all, add to the list. Okay, so then that saves it for our option. So now when we nuke the site, as far as the plugins go, then it's going to retain whatever it is that you specify there. Okay, but the main thing is that this potentially replaces like a dedicated WP reset solution. All right, moving over to the error logs. That's just pretty self-explanatory. If you're an admin, you know what this is. If there's errors on your site, they're going to appear here. File manager. This one is really, really cool. Debatable sometimes whether you should have this on your site, a file manager on your site. So we're not going to get into that in this video, but if this is highly beneficial to some people, especially, sometimes you have those clients and, a lot of people say, well, they're my clients. I do this work for them, but that's not always the case. Sometimes your clients are going to have access to the site and they're going to ask for admin rights. You try to lock things down as much as possible. That's in a perfect world. But sometimes you just, you face that scenario where, do I want to lose this customer? They're under my website care and all of that stuff, but they still want admin access and they still want to be able to do this. And it's like, do you want to just tell them to go away when they're just going to do it anyway with some other provider? Or do you want to continue and support them? In which case, like this is valuable to them if they're not familiar with like a FileZilla or, having to go and log into their web host and browse that way. It's just a nice, convenient thing. It's, pretty self-explanatory. You browse very quickly, I might add. You can browse through the file system, create files, create folders, upload files. And then over on the right-hand side, you have like another version of the tree. So really, really cool stuff. Image optimization. So this, again, potentially eliminates another solution. So you can set the max width and max height of the images. Enable that, save your settings, and then when you upload an image to your media library or however it is you upload your media, through a page builder or whatever, it's going to automatically resize that. So that's a cool feature. Enable WebP images. If you don't already have a solution for that, this is a nice touch. Obviously, if you're an admin, hopefully you are optimizing your images in the best format that you can possibly use before you upload it to your site. But this is nice, a nice feature. Thumbnails, you can go in here and do a mass delete of a particular thumbnail size. So let's say you started your WordPress website and it's been going for years, but at the beginning you didn't set your media. You didn't change your media settings, and you're allowing certain things to come in and whatnot. Now you can go in and nuke all of those in one shot. Now, what if you want to add a new thumbnail size? Okay, you can give it a name, a width, a height, see if it's going to crop or not, so on and so forth. And then down here, it's going to give you the output of the PHP code if that's useful to you. Moving over to the server info, this is just faster a lot of times than going over into, or if maybe you don't even know where to go, like tools, and then you got to go site health, and then you got to go info, and then you got to go server. Okay. There is a bit of more information in here, but imagine you're just over here and it's just like, okay, DevKit, server info, you got it. Okay. Another feature in here is the rollback WordPress core. Click that button. It's going to take you there where you can download and install the core rollback, has a lot to say, core rollback plugin and put it on your site if you ever want to roll back to certain versions. Maintenance. So again, maybe you have a separate solution just for this. This could eliminate that. And then you can select whether maintenance mode is on the entire website, the homepage, front page. You can select a particular post or page to use as your maintenance mode page, or you can select an archive. Totally up to you what you want to do there. Moving over to search and replace. Again, I keep saying it. This potentially eliminates another solution. So they give you a nice by default dry run option to show you what's going to happen. So let's just put in WP code box because we've talked about that already. Now let's don't do that. Let's do, let's say, maybe we wanted to replace all instances of IWP and actually replace it with InfluenceWP. Okay, let's do that. Dry run. We have no results. Let's try the other way around. I don't think I reference IWP anywhere on the site. So let's do this and let's do this. Run. There we go. So now we have all the instances in there and the occurrences, and you could run that. So very, very cool stuff. Obviously, untick the dry run when you're ready to run this. And then also obviously do a backup before you do anything like this. All right, let's move over to settings. You have some visibility options here. Hide DevKit from the plugin list, which, you know, again, if you're supporting clients, customers, you know, depending on the relationship you have and what they're like, not forcing, but like really requesting of you to allow them to do, you know, it's probably best you hide this. Adminer. So this is going to unlock another feature we're going to look at. User manager, that's going to unlock another feature. So in this case, visibility is turning on 2 new features. Okay. And then down here, you've got a nice way to enable debug, whereas before you would have to dive into a WordPress file in most cases or likely cases and enable debugging. That's just a nice toggle to turn that on. You also want to create a log file as you're troubleshooting things, debugging things. Enable JavaScript errors, JS errors, save queries, and blah blah blah. That's more of a dev thing. It's a little over my head, but save queries and that spot $WPDB queries array. Please turn off this option after debugging because this will slow down your website. Okay. Debug types. So then you can choose all the things that you want to debug for. You can set the default error log path. And then security, generate. You can like regenerate your WP salts or generate them if you haven't yet. A lot of talk around whether the WP salts, you know, arguments like pros and cons to that. But anyway, nice feature in there nonetheless. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's turn on. Let's go ahead and just refresh this. Let's turn on Adminer and drop all. I thought there was a save button. I guess there's no save button. It just happens, which is nice. It's all about saving time, minimizing the effort, saving the steps. So we toggled that on. Let's go ahead and refresh. So what that's going to give us is over here on the top right of my screen, you see Adminer with a little database looking icon. Let's click into that. Voila. Very quickly, you have access to your database. You don't need to PHPMyAdmin in. You don't have to go to your host. You don't have to do any of that stuff. It's just right there for you. Okay, very, very cool stuff. So that's Adminer. And let's go back to our settings. And now let's toggle on. We'll toggle that off and toggle on Users Manager. And again, I keep wanting to hit the save button. It's like a habit, but it's in there now. So let's go ahead and hit refresh. And I have to remember where this dumps this in. Is it in? Maybe it's under users. Here we go. Yeah, logical, right? Users and user manager. Okay. So here, what you can do is, so right next to this admin account, I can click switch. And you're in that mode of that person. So let's go like add new user. Let's do author at author.com for fun. Let's make them an author. There we go. Okay. Let's go back to users manager. Now we're logged in as my InfluenceWP admin account, right? So now let's say I want to switch into the author. I'm now viewing this WordPress website dashboard, WP admin as an author. I see what they would be seeing. And that's really great, especially when you're trying to lock things down by a role and you want to see what it is that they're seeing. And you just really fine tune those roles, whether it's like the menu options or whatever's up here in the nav, hiding widgets, whatever the case may be. It gives you a really, really cool way to look at that. Now, the only thing is now that I'm in here as author, because you don't have access to the users manager, you kind of like knock yourself out, right? So I guess the thing to do there is you could log You have to log out basically and go back in as the admin. That's funny. I never thought of it that way. Let's go back over here. Yeah, see, it kicks you out. Okay, cool stuff. All right, guys, that is DevKit. And like I said, you know, there's changes coming to the UI UX. It is functional. It is clean. It does what it needs to do. But you know, there's a facelift coming. There's security enhancements coming. There is the runner feature that's coming, which I'm super excited to see how that turns out. Yeah, but again, D Plugins is a partner, and if you want an exclusive deal for any of their plugins, including DevKit, go to influencewp.com/deals, and also go check out their website, so dplugins.com, and also he has a Facebook group that is very active. So there you go. All right, guys, until next time, hope all is well out there, and I will catch you in the next video. See ya.